Hi. Oh, I was just at the end of it. Hi, Maria. Look at you. You guys, Maria has a new book out. It just came out on Friday, the 7th. And oh my God, it sounds so good. It's a romance book. So if you like romance books, you need to go to her profile and get it. Hi, Daisy. Let me tell you, I'm feeling like frantic, because I want to get everything done, but also I'm just so glad that we got home okay. David's ordered a Chinese, so it might come in the middle. I'm sorry if that happens. Okay, so what we're gonna do today, she missed it. Hi, Daisy. We'll have to FaceTime or something, me and Daisy. We can chat. Yeah, I'm glad I'm home too. Oh my God. Okay, so what we're gonna do today are these little stems here. So it's all of these flowers that have the three, let me zoom in so you can see a little bit better. It's all of these flowers that have the three loopy teardrop things. We're gonna go do the stems, just these stems. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And we're gonna do stem stitch. So I'm so excited because actually this is one of my favorite stitches. You can do a lot with it. So it's good for outlining. It's good for stems of flowers. Imagine. I just really like it. And we did stem stitch on the outside of these pink ones to kind of fill it in a little bit. Hi. Made it. Good. Oh, goodness. All right. So we're going to get started. My biggest tip for stem stitch is whichever way the hump is. So if it's curving out this way, then this is the way that you're going to have your loop to go. And that's going to make sense in just a minute. But if you ever have it curve out this way like this, then the loop will go on this side. If you have it curve out this way like this, then the loop will go on this side. Yeah? So just remember that as you're stitching. If it goes straight down, then it doesn't matter to do whichever side that you like. There's no wrong or right way for that. And I'm going to start my stem stitches kind of up in the flower a little bit because I want the petals of the flower to cover the stem. So I hope that makes sense too. Oh, thank you. I've got a lot of rings on today because normally I don't use them. So I've got this one from David's dad's mom. And then we got the band to go with it. And then this is from, oh my God, I'm having the biggest brain fart right now. But it's a local business here in Birmingham. And it's lovely. And then this right here was a vintage ring from House of Vintage Rings. It's got little flowers that go all the way around it. And it fits lovely on my pinky. So thank you. All right, so I'm going to start up here because like I said, I want the petals to go over the stem. And the closer that you bring your stitches together, the more stitches you're going to have and the more kind of twisted it's going to look. And the less stitches you have, so the more spaces that you have between your stitches, the less twisty it's going to look. So that's just a preference that you can have for yourself if you want the stems to be a little bit more twisty, more like a rope, then yeah, make them smaller. But I'm going to do about this, can you tell, about that length? And you're going to pull it through, but you're going to leave that loop like that. And you're going to come up in the middle of those two. Now, every stitch is almost going to be like offset. So this length here, and then the next one will be another kind of half length, so that this stitch length and this new stitch length will be the same length, but they'll just be kind of offset like that. So pull it and make your next loop. And again, you want that stitch to be almost the same from here to here as it is from the middle of this one to the next one. If anybody is confused or has questions, then please feel free to ask. And you're going to pull it tight. And just keep on going all the way down the stem. Someone said, are you using the same color as the stems and leaves before, or did you dig into new green? It looks maybe slightly different. So these two are different. I don't have the paper for this one because I took it off on the train and lost it. But the other color for this one is right here. So it's 214, and this one is definitely a little bit darker. So sorry, that's what I get for stitching on a train and stitching in the pub. Because I tend to lose the papers. And then the very last one, I like to do just one little half stitch at the very bottom, like that. Yeah. So it's kind of twisty. So I'll just gonna skip right over here, and I'll make my stitches much, much smaller, and then hopefully you'll see the difference between this one and this one. Again, I'm gonna start way up in the flower because I want my petals to go over the flower, petals to go over the stem. Idiot. And obviously when you make smaller stitches, you're gonna have to do more stitches to fill the space. You really don't want to start out with really little stitches like this. I move it in the middle. And then at the very, very end, have them really, really long. You want them to be nice and uniform. Seam, stitch, length. I'm gonna have a glass of wine with my Chinese in a minute. Oh my God, it's gonna be so good. Or maybe I'll have a beer. Yeah, maybe I'll have a beer. And that's gonna go right in there like that. Oh, I didn't do the half stitch. Yeah, I like to end mine on a half stitch because sometimes the very last stitch can look a little bit empty there. So can you see kind of the difference between these two here? I feel like I need to like get a flashlight or something. The only problem with this is that I stand right in front of it, so. Okay, so let me see if I can zoom in more. This one is much more twisted. The stitches are much, much smaller. Yeah, and this one has maybe half the number of stitches, and it looks a little bit, I don't know, it has a little twist to it, but it doesn't look like so tight and twisted. So it just depends how you want it to look. Comfort Zone Obliviate. I don't remember your name, I'm so sorry. But she says, I'm glad you made it home and didn't get stuck by the storm. Thank you, me too. We really thought that we were gonna have to go back to our friend's house and be like, can we stay another day, please? Because we can't get home. All right. Again, I don't really like to jump this far, but just for the sake of Jen. Hi, Jen. just for the sake of doing it. Normally I would cut the thread and start a new one up here, but that's okay. So yeah, the stitch length can really make it look like almost like a different stitch, because if you saw these next to each other, you might think, one of them looks different. So we're just doing the stems today, and then tomorrow we'll go back and fill the leaves in. And then someone made a long comment, hold on. KP Crafty says, this is such a nice live to watch right now. It's raining here in Long Beach, California. Your voice is so soothing to hear, and your stitching is relaxing to watch. Aw, that is so nice. Yeah, it's absolutely pissing it down here as well. Somebody's, you know those like roofs that you can get on your house that are just kind of like sandpaper? They're like the asphalt paper roofs, I guess they're called. I don't know. But somebody is like, it must be for their shed or something, but was like in our backyard when we came back home. And then my friend Ruth, she's got like 3 or 4 fence panels down. I feel so bad for people. So I'm just going to jump down here to the bottom and do the bottom. Oh, this goes all the way down. Hold on. Hold on. I made this pattern and I didn't even see that. This goes all the way down. See, here and there. Here we go. Now I could just continue this instead of stopping at all of these leaves, and then later you can just stitch straight over it. But I'm just gonna skip over them so that you guys don't get confused when you go back to do them on your own patterns. I think some people will be like, oh, was I meant to do that? I don't know. Where's the next one meant to go? Hi. Okay, now I can start with this one. I'm only gonna go up to here. So what do you think? Do you prefer the really tight small stitches, or do you like the longer, like drawn out stitches? Just gonna take a drink of water, so if you don't like those noises, I'm sorry. Yeah, I also, Jen says that she likes the longer ones, and I agree. I think shorter ones look a little bit too like tight and twisty for me. Ooh, Calvina Hobbs says the smaller ones. She likes the smaller ones better. Yeah, I just think that like sometimes the smaller ones look a little bit too tight. They look too twisty. But that's okay, because sometimes you need that. Okay, and then we've just got 1, 2, 3 left. I have a feeling that the Chinese is going to be here soon, and I'm going to have to be like, okay, bye, 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 bye. Oh, I'm sorry. I can't speak that language. Oh, I feel bad. Someone's left a comment, but I can't read it. I've also found that if they get a little bit, like looking a little bit weird, you might just have to run your fingers over them and like twist them the other way. So sometimes when you have them like so like on a curve like that, they can kind of look a little, I don't know, like they're almost like laying on their side. But I find that if you just kind of push them over the other way, then that's better. Yeah. Like this way, you can see all the little stitches like that. And then if you push them that way, you can kind of just see the braid instead, like the twisty part. Okay. Now this one goes both ways. So first it curves that way and then it curves that way. Don't change the direction. Just choose one way and do that the entire way. So it has like a strong curve to this side, so I'm just going to continue doing it to that side. Oh, it's got a strong curve this side too. What have I done? It'll be okay. But you'll end up seeing how it looks when like it's on the other side. Jessie, don't lick. So the fabric I'm sewing on is just 100% cotton. This is a Kona white cotton. Kona is a brand of fabric. Dropped it. But you can use linen. You can use a cotton linen blend. You're just looking for no stretch. No stretch. No stretch. You can use anything. You can use an old bed sheet, tablecloth. You can use a shower curtain even. Like a men's dress shirt if you've got an old men's dress shirt. Because a lot of times they don't have stretch in them, that kind of cotton. But you just want no stretch. Jen says, I'm using Kona 2 and no matter how tight I pull, it still seems to stretch. Huh, like too stretchy. Huh. Immaculada says, Buenos noches desde España. So, good evening from Spain. I'm almost done. Same with my linen-y fabric. Huh. She says, I hear that drum bounce, and mine has way more give than yours. So you might need to pull it a little bit tighter. Or check your hoop and make sure that you don't have a lot of gaps in your hoop, because if you're the two hoops that you have, so you've got an inner hoop and an outer hoop, and if they're not completely touching in all spots, meaning if you hold it up, I've got an extra hoop here. I know I do, because I just put it away. Like this. Yeah. If they're not completely touching, meaning that you cannot see through. So up here, I'm going to have a problem. Because even though it's like really tight, I can still see through right here, which means that right here is going to be a little bit looser than all of the rest of it. So sometimes if you're stitching it, you can hold the fabric tight and then stitch in that area. But hi Melissa. No, I don't have any anchor hoops with me right now because they don't really sell them in the States anymore, or in the UK anymore. So this is just one that I get from a local wholesale shop. Thank you. I broke one. Look. My poor little nail. It's like half the size. But yeah, so look for that right there. A lot of people will take them apart and then wrap the inner hoop here. So they can do like you can use binding tape, or you can use like a cotton stretchy, what's it called? You can even just like take strips of fabric and wrap it like that. But you just wrap it around and around and around and around. And after you're done wrapping it, then you can then use this hoop to stitch in. And then when you're done, transfer it to a different hoop for the final one. So typical me, going off on a little bit of a rant. I do like the anchor hoops though. So like if you order them off their website, the quality is really good. Like they're probably the best ones I've seen, to be fair. So there's that. Okay, this is gonna be hard because I have extra fabric. Okay, last one. And then hopefully my Chinese will magically turn up right after this. And then I can go have a drink and eat my sweet and sour chicken. It's gonna be so good. Okay. And then both of these will be up on Instagram tonight. I'll upload them. And I'm going to re-film a video that didn't save on Friday. And then later tonight, I'm going to do the post for the giveaway that was meant to be on Saturday. But since I was out all day, I really didn't have enough time to do it. And I didn't want to like half-ass it, you know? I wanted to do it properly. So it'll just be a tag a friend, because I know a lot of you have already entered numerous times this week from showing your, there we go, from showing pictures of your posts from last week, from your hoops, I mean. Excuse me. So this will be something that you and a friend can win. So you each will win one for yourself. So yeah, good luck. And that's it from me. I hope you've had a lovely, lovely weekend. This was the stem stitch, 3 strands, green, and yeah. Thanks, Jen. You guys have a lovely evening, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. Just a minute.